The first thing I felt was pain. Sharp. Electric. A jolt across my ribs that sent me sprawling on the cracked metal floor of the derelict spacecraft. My vision blurred as the dim emergency lights flickered overhead, and I tasted the tang of blood in my mouth. Then I heard her voice. "Why don't you fight back?" It was soft, almost teasing. But beneath it was something else. Curiosity, challenge, and a hint of approval. I looked up, squinting through the haze of pain and adrenaline, and saw her, an alien warrior unlike any being I had ever encountered. Tall, imposing, and utterly alien, yet somehow mesmerizing. Her skin shimmered with hues of emerald and violet, and her eyes, luminescent and multifaceted, tracked me with a predator's precision. Her stance was relaxed, confident, as if she were daring me to move. I am trying, I managed, coughing as I tried to rise. She laughed softly, a sound that resonated in the metallic chamber. "No," she said. "You are not trying. You are waiting. Waiting to see if I will finish this fight for you. My name is Dr. Alara Miles. I'm an exoanthropologist, humanities specialist in alien cultures, and until this moment, I had never faced a situation that required pure survival instinct over study and observation. My mission aboard the freighter Odyssey's Edge was routine. Catalog artifacts recovered from a derelict alien outpost in the Xantharian sector. That mission went catastrophically wrong the instant the ship was boarded by raiders, or so we thought. In reality, the intruder was something far more complex. She was a warrior of the Mkora, a race as old as the stars themselves, known in human circles for their strict honor code and merciless combat abilities. We had heard of the Mkora in intelligence briefings, but humanity had never seen one firsthand. And here she was, towering over me, radiating lethal grace, and challenging me with a whisper that cut deeper than any weapon. I scrambled to my feet, clutching a wrench from the engineering panel for anything resembling a weapon. My legs trembled, not from fatigue, but from instinctive fear. Every fiber of my human biology screamed at me to run. But something about her eyes, the way they studied me, refused to let me leave without proving myself. "You're scared," she said, circling me like a predator assessing prey. "Good. Fear sharpens the mind. But fear alone does not protect you. You must fight." I'm not a soldier," I whispered. "Then learn." With that, she lunged. I raised the wrench instinctively, but her speed was inhuman. She knocked it aside effortlessly and slammed me into the bulkhead. Pain exploded in my shoulder. Stars danced across my vision. Yet even as I collapsed, I understood. She was not here to kill me. Not entirely. She was testing me. The fight that followed was a blur of instinct, pain, and desperation. I dodged as best I could, blocked with improvised strikes, and constantly reassessed her movements. Every time I failed, she would step back and observe, whispering encouragements like a twisted mentor. Again. Faster. Predictable. I realized slowly that the Mkora measured strength differently than humans. To them, combat was not just physical, it was an evaluation of will, resilience, and adaptability. Each strike, each dodge, each calculated mistake told them everything about me. By the third round, something shifted. I moved not with fear, but with intent. I anticipated her strikes, used the environment, pipes, walls, machinery to my advantage. I wasn't strong. I wasn't fast. But I was resourceful, and that seemed to intrigue her. "You surprised me," she admitted finally, sidestepping a strike I had meant only to distract. Her eyes glimmered, analyzing. Few humans last this long without panicking. Fewer still improvise. I gasped for air, muscles trembling. "Why are you doing this?" "Because," she said, circling me slowly. You are not just any human. You carry potential. Potential that may be wasted if you do not learn to fight for yourself. I realized then that her interest was more than mere curiosity. This was training. Hazardous, brutal, and utterly unforgiving, but training nonetheless. And if I survived, it might change me forever. The derelict freighter was a labyrinth of dark corridors, broken machinery, and unstable power cores. She guided me through it as much as she challenged me. Every room became a lesson in strategy, every obstacle a test of adaptability. Humans underestimate themselves, she said one evening when we paused beside a breached hull, exposing the void outside. You think your bodies are weak, your reflexes slow, but your minds are unpredictable. And that is your greatest weapon. Her words echoed in my head as we continued. I started anticipating danger rather than reacting, predicting her movements and even setting traps of my own. For the first time, I felt a strange kinship, not trust exactly, but a recognition of mutual respect. Our dynamic changed during a sudden raid by hostile scavengers, rogue humans who had followed us into the Xantherian sector, hoping to steal alien technology. This was no simulation. This was real. The AlienWarrior and I moved as a team for the first time. She attacked with precision and power. I countered and diverted, using the environment to amplify my strikes. Together, we neutralized the intruders. After the skirmish, she looked at me, not with the sharp intensity of a trainer, but with something more complex. You fought, she said. Not perfectly, not elegantly, but you fought. And you? I asked, brushing myself off. I watched, she said. And I learned from you. That simple exchange cemented something fundamental. Strength was not singular. It was shared. The human unpredictability that she had once challenged me to overcome was now part of the reason we survived. Over the following days, I began to understand her culture. The Mkora revered strength, yes, but not merely physical strength. Strength of character, ingenuity, and persistence were equally honored. By surviving her tests, by thinking and reacting in ways she had not anticipated, I had earned her recognition in a way few outsiders ever did. You are human, she said one night, her voice softer than before. And yet, in certain ways, you fight like we do. Calculated, resourceful, adaptable. You could be an ally or a weapon. I laughed weakly. I'm barely keeping up as a student. You have no idea how potent you are, she said. Her glow dimmed to a more human-like warmth. But you are learning. The climax of our ordeal came when the derelict ship's core began to destabilize. Energy spikes, hull breaches, and failing life support systems created a scenario where instinct had to override thought. The AlienWarrior and I moved through corridors on the verge of collapse, covering each other, improvising paths, and using the failing systems to our advantage. A misstep could have ended it all. I slipped, nearly falling into a molten vent. She grabbed me, steadying my balance, not a command, but a gesture of trust. Do you see now? She whispered. Fighting is not just strength. It is decision, risk, and responsibility. You carry your own life, and in doing so, the lives of others you choose to protect. I